Happy birthday! You are finally old enough to have a real job, so you're wanting to take your girl out on a real date. So you land a job at Mike's pet shop, who decides to go on a week vacation to one of the most deserted places on earth the day after you start. Mike quickly shows you the basics and then leaves you all alone. But before leaving, he shows you his most prized pet, Bernie, a queen angelfish he has had for 5 years. You notice something strange on the fish tank after Mike is gone. Gallons per hour, water level, y equals negative 2x plus 14. But because Mike is in the middle of nowhere, you can't contact him to determine what this means. You do, however, remember your teacher saying something about slope-intercept form last week as you were dozing off. This could be slope-intercept form as long as the y is isolated, but you call another student just to be sure. She tells you that y equals mx plus b. M is the slope and b is the y-intercept. M is the slope, or the change in y over the change in x, and you will call it rise over run thousands of times. B is the y-intercept, 1 point on the line. The line crosses the y-axis at this point. Now you must determine what the slope-intercept equation actually means. Gallons per hour, water level, negative 2, and 14. As you can see, gallons per hour is the rate of change, the water level is how much water is in the tank, negative 2 is the slope, or how the water level changes, and 14 is the water level at the very beginning, or how much water is actually in the tank. So now we're going to graph it. We have the information here on the left, so if you want to pause and go ahead and graph it yourself, please feel free to. We're first going to label our axis. We're going to label the y-axis gallons and the x-axis hours, since the unit rate is gallons per hour. We see that 14 is the y-intercept, so our first ordered pair, or our first point, will be placed at 14. We also see that the slope is negative 2 over 1, which means to go down 2 units and over 1 unit. What this means is that in hour 1, the water in the tank will have decreased 2 gallons. We will continue to decrease the water in the tank 2 gallons every 1 hour. Decrease 2 gallons over every 1 hour. Decrease 2 gallons over every 1 hour. As you can see, we have made a perfectly straight line. Notice that after 1 hour, there is 12 gallons of water in the tank. Notice after 3 hours, there is 10 gallons of water, and so forth. What we also want to note is that when there is no water in the fish tank, we need to find out how long it will take the fish tank to become completely empty. You determine that after 7 hours there will be no water left in the tank and poor Bernie will suffocate. You also determine that you must continue to add water to the tank every hour so Bernie will be happy and you will still have a job. Your boss returns and he sees just how much you care for Bernie, and guess what? He decides to give you a big fat raise.